Talk to Me is an Australian supernatural horror film. It is the directorial debut of Danny and Michael Philippou. This one is about Mia. She's still reeling over the death of her mother 2 years previous. She lives with her father and her stepmother and two siblings, step-siblings. There's Jade, sister, and Riley, a younger brother. And she's still sort of, living with the family. Things are kind of fractured and tense. However, she gets invited to a viral sensation that's sort of sweeping their friend circle. Their friend Joss has an embalmed hand, and apparently it allows you to become possessed by a spirit, and it basically they become a gateway for only 90 seconds, no longer. However, their dangerous sort of seance-like trick is fun at first, and they're just playing it for laughs. However, it ends up becoming a lot more serious when something stays on the other side and they stay for too long. So this movie had a lot of hype to it. It's an A24 produced film. It's Australian, but they don't use too much slang. I think first and foremost, the best part of this movie has to be that they are basically, it's a character-driven horror film. Yes, there are lots of scares, but there's lots of themes about guilt and grief. It kind of feels like The Babadook a little bit, not because it's Australian, but because it manages to balance the fine line between emotional, grievance and thrilling scares. And I really like the acting from everyone. Everyone does a great job. It's mostly a cast of new talent, and Miranda Otto's there too. However, everyone does a good job. Everyone pulls their weight. There's some visceral scares and gore scenes. The movie's pretty thrilling too. It's very well paced. It's very emotionally charged too. I felt myself feeling like really sad and like caring for these characters, which is a good thing, because if you don't care about the characters, you don't care if they get put in harm's way. And the movie sort of does balance this in a way by using the skeleton of a classic demon possession movie, but also putting a modern spin on it. There's some social commentary about social media, peer pressure, things like that, hanging out with friends and influences. That's sort of there at the beginning. And so it puts a sort of modern spin on the classic tropes, but it elevates it with really good scares, camera work, and acting. So Talk to Me is a very good and a very thrilling thrill ride. It's very effective in its scares, and I give it a 8 out of 10.